and see everything that she sees, the whole 360 degrees around. It is pretty darn nifty, and I don't know how to simulate that for you guys, but you're just gonna have to check it out for yourself. It's the darndest thing. Okay, I'm gonna bring you up, Michelle. Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good now that we can hear each other, I hope.
Well, I was hearing myself twice.
Are you still hearing yourself twice?
But remember our plot, I'll just talk less.
Oh, okay.
And I think everybody watching would probably appreciate that. Hello, Edward, Timbo, Billy, thank you guys so much for popping in. So, Michelle, I had just explained about your channel and how you do your filming. Well, how do you make that magic happen?
Mostly a big, powerful computer, but I actually only need one camera to do it all. And it is, if I can get it up here with one hand. I am currently filming on my phone. The new 360 camera is not live stream enabled, so I don't do live streams that often. I was hoping my first live stream would be 360. But if you let it here, this
that's just a small thing.
360 camera, and it records everything at once. And some people don't. So I've actually expanded the build out of my new ambulance into doing 366 regular videos, and the workload is actually more than I should actually be doing. So swap between 360 and 60 videos. But this is the alignment right. This is the 360 camera. It's a Insta61R, and I have a love-hate relationship with it. But it's well enough.
You know, I'm still getting some echo. Are you guys getting echo? Well, I know we are when I'm talking. Wheeler Gross would shut off one of your tabs, but I have two tabs open. I just have mine. And my stream elements.
Shut down your tabs.
Two tabs open.
See, how many tabs do I have to shut down?
Oh, do you have more than one thing open?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Let me see if I can do this.
Can you shut everything down except for StreamYard? Because yeah, everybody's getting lots of echo.
All right, try that.
I'm
Is that
afraid
better?
I can still hear me.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Yeah, everybody says it's lots of echo. What, you guys don't want to hear me over and over and over again? I don't understand.
Well, this probably needs to be done a long time ago, actually. When I'm researching something, I tend to have multiple tabs open, researching it. And I stay up, they kind of stay up until I'm done doing the research. So let's see, this will help everything, I'm sure. Hang on, it's going to be a bit.
Me? Willie Gross says it's me. I don't have anything open other than Stream Elements and StreamYard.
Okay.
Do you have your YouTube on, Michelle?
Uh-oh. I can kind of hear you a little bit robot body.
Do you have YouTube open? I'm going to keep looking through my stuff quick here.
Let me take it off of Wi-Fi.
I'll shut down my Stream Elements. All I have open on my computer is StreamYard.
All right. Are we here?
I can hear you.
Okay, then everything is kind of closed off. My internet Wi-Fi just took a dive. It does it every now and again. It's I think it's because I'm playing from a tower that's tied to the football stadium, and this is Tuesday night, but they still do stuff up there. So
okay. Oh, I have cake. So when
back
you
on cell phone
now, I'm not hearing an echo. So I'm just going to keep talking. You tell us about your camera, your bus, and your ambulance.
Okay. Huh? What?
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't.
Tell us about the bus conversion.
Oh, okay. So the bus conversions, the ambulance, and which one?
Just those.
Okay, okay. So I started out. How far back you want me to go? Whenever I first started when I was traveling.
Sure.
So I started out in 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. I seen a thing where traveling was a lifestyle, is a fun thing. I don't actually remember where I got the idea, but I remember seeing someone and I thought, that's a great idea. I can live out of that and travel and see everything. And of course, me being me, I was like, okay, I want to live out of schoolie. I want to build it out myself and have all the fancy gadgets. I'm a gadget person. I like technology. I like tinkering. And I wanted to build my own house just to prove to myself that I could. So I was like, a school bus, perfect. So I gathered up what money I had and bought my bus, which is a 1980s Chevy C70 manual transmission, 8.2 liter Detroit diesel in it, all natural aspirated engine. And I was like, okay, to do this, if I'm gonna go through and do this, the number one thing I gotta do is a roof raise. It's a deal breaker for me. If I can't do the roof raise, there's no point in going any farther. No point throwing any money in it. So instead of getting new tires or having the engine checked out, I kind of got it. Well, I was going to do it at the storage lot, and the storage lot said, no. Long story short, they're like, no, you can't even have a grinder here. So, anyhow, I see some people there. Hi. I decided my parents have property here, and they said I could do it here. So I drove it here to have it done. I did actually end up going to work at a um, school bus transportation department for 3 years while I did the build out. My reasoning behind that was I had to have a Class B license to drive it until it was converted, according to the Highway Patrol, because I called them and asked them. I actually drove it for 2 weeks just fine without that license. But good thing I didn't get pulled over because I could have lost my license, actually, my entire license. So I went to work for the school bus barn to get my license because they paid for your training and everything else. And I figured it'd be better to learn to drive on their dime. And that's kind of what I did. I continued doing it as a substitute bus driver. It was an interesting job. We'll go with interesting job. And shout out to all the bus drivers out there because you kind of understand. But continue doing the conversion. You can actually go through and on my video at the bottom of all my videos has a link to the build out and the tour of the bus. It's in the process of actually going bye-bye right now because I bought the ambulance. Sorry, brain fart. There's a lot of information to get out there, and I'm trying to figure out how much information to drop and organize it and drop it out there.
So, what made you decide to switch from the bus to an ambulance?
So the bus is great for going and staying on land, like BLM land, for 2 weeks at a time. It works perfect for that. It was built for that purpose. It was also built for a homestead rig. However, traveling around, I have found that for me to have land, I want to be around people. And honestly, I don't need that big a space. The soaking tub was nice. I still want to put the soaking tub in my van somehow. I don't know if that's feasible. And that sounds absolutely ridiculous and totally just like, what the heck? You don't need a soaking tub. But you know what? I like my soaking tub. And the main thing is parking lots. I've wanted to go to museums and other things that are inside cities, and driving that bus in cities is not fun. I can do it, And I have done it. I've done it to Phoenix in rush hour traffic, and I got stuck in one lane for like 2 hours and no way to get off. That was not fun. But mainly, I just wanted to be able to get farther into the smaller places that I could not take the bus. And I like the bus. And, there's plenty of room for me plus two more people. Probably get 3 people in there. The solar is great. It could actually use more solar, but at a certain point, I have built it out, lived in it for a year while still working at the bus barn and building it out. I actually, whenever I moved into the bus, I had a bed platform and a hose hookup and cold water and maybe kind of a drain. Not really a drain. From the bed platform forward, I built while I was in it, and that wasn't fun. Doing a build out while you're living in a space, it's just no. I'm kind of over that. Let's see if my hands are over here. I'm talking with my hands, and no one can see my hands. See my hands, but the bus has worked wonderfully. Now I'm ready to go smaller and more stuff. More.
Were you getting a message?
Yeah, I don't know if my phone has a virus on it, but I'm getting random emails from random people's emails. I don't know if it's my phone or someone else's things, but it's sending me weird stuff. Maybe my operating system's old on it. I don't know. It's being weird.
I'm just going to ask everyone in the chat, if I'm not talking, is Michelle still echoing for you? It's just going to take a second before I can see.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't have YouTube on?
I have YouTube on my Wi-Fi, and I'm running this off of my cellular at this point.
Can you turn YouTube off?
Huh?
Can you turn the YouTube off?
It shouldn't be affecting this. Let me. The having all these smartphones. Okay, that's everything off of my phone. Everything should be playing from the cellular network on the phone itself. Of course, I did this drop down to 1 bar again. No, it's you, Paula. They're saying it's you.
Put it in airplane mode. Put it in airplane mode? No, I can't put mine in airplane mode.
No, that would be very bad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hearing an echo, Cindy. So I'm getting 2 things. I'm getting that it's me. I know it's my voice that's echoing, but I don't know that that's coming from me.
It might be on your end. My mom would have the same problem if she had a bad connection on her end. She'd get an echo, but we wouldn't hear it.
Aaron Genesis said if you put your phone in airplane mode, you won't get the interruptions.
Yeah, I know. If I put my phone on airplane mode,
and I'm on a laptop. Oh, do I need to talk some more? Hey.
Oh, crap. Okay, so sorry.
So you put up a video today about...
Huh?
You put a lengthy video today out for your ambulance. Did you want to talk about that?
Did that come out today? Yeah, which one came out today?
Your plans for the ambulance.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that actually came out like 10 days ago. I've been behind on all my videos because I've been overwhelmed with the amount of stuff I've been doing with the new ambulance build. So the design of the ambulance is like my bus. I kind of started with the whole got to do a roof raise first thing before I can do anything. Well, that's not entirely true. This one has a tear out on it. The tear out on the ambulance is way easier than the bus ever was. I spent like 2 months doing a tear out on the bus and getting it prepped for it. I've had this ready over time. It's taken me like a month or two to do, but I've had other stuff going on in the background, coming back and visiting family and helping them with the property here and doing all that. It's kind of divided my time up considerably. Not that I'm complaining, because I like helping them and I like hanging out with people and visiting and all that funness. But the ambulance, the basic design is it's a CAD workup of kind of the basic look of how the ambulance would look, from the front of the ambulance to kind of the roof raise and some of the modifications I'm considering. And there's major modifications to it. It's aluminum frame, and someone suggested using 6061 T6 aluminum, which I appreciate the suggestion, but I'm one of those people that are like, okay, like, why do I want to use this? So I went through and did all the math and the weld strength of it, what happens when we weld, and it's really interesting. So if you weld it with a TIG, you actually anneal the aluminum, and it goes back to the strength of 61 0 or TO, which is annealed. So it has a quarter of the strength that it does, but you still want it. Anyhow, that's probably more technical than you really want to know as far as welding. I'm actually at a spot where I'm stuck because I don't have. Not that I don't have the money, but the bus has to sell before I can do too much more on the ambulance. So I'm waiting for a welder capable of doing aluminum. So I'm this sitting around waiting for that and working on other stuff without going too much into the whole finances, because everyone has their financial struggles. Basically, I need the bus to sell so I can get back to work on the ambulance. And that's about all I really want to say on that. Without going into it too much detail.
Michelle, did you have headphones? I don't have headphones. I never used headphones on here. Maybe it's something I'm going to have to do.
I borrowed. I went to pot.
I didn't
catch a single word of that.
Headphones? I'll type it in.
Okay. Repeat what you just said.
Headphones.
Headphones? They might be charged up by now. Give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. This is all kinds of finicky and everything else.
Technology.
It is, and I actually had everything set up for it. It'd probably work better. It's just everything's kind of touchy. Okay. Hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, and robot voice gone.
Okay, you guys, am I echoing anymore?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm echoing anymore. Yay!
Okay.
Victory. So nomadic
yeah,
rat
we'll see how long.
We'll see how long the lasts. Nomadic Rat Pack says, Michelle, we saw what you did on the bus and know that it is a labor of love and a lot of work.
Oh, yes, it's a lot of work.
So now with the ambulance, like today I was watching and you were peeking at the electrical and I was just like, that's the thing that scares me the most.
So actually I'm a lot, where I left off that video, I'm a lot farther beyond on that. I actually got caught up in dealing with electrical and hadn't got back over here to do video. I have like 10 days I haven't released a video. Tomorrow there'll be a new video out on the electrical, and about 2 to 3 days after that will be the other one that will bring you up close to where I'm at. unfortunately on YouTube, you're never actually, well, I mean, some people are caught up to where they're at, but there's almost always a lag between recording, editing, and putting it up on YouTube unless you do a live stream.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I'm
But I'm
actually,
excited personally to see the electrical because
oh
I'm
no,
avoiding as much of it as I can right now because it is
um,
intimidating.
I will tell you right now, the electrical is a nightmare. I have lost, I haven't been able to move it because my brake lights don't work, and I'm trying to find the brake lights. I actually just today found the brake lights, and I got to
Mhm.
go back to hooking them back up. But to it's a nightmare. It's just crazy the electrical in this thing. But once I get it all cleaned out and labeled, let's see. The thing that makes it really hard is that this is a national ambulance builders ambulance, and they went out of business in, I think it said 2001. Another company bought them up, and the other company went out of business in 2003. And I haven't been able to find anyone else that's actually picked up the ambulance. So as far as I know, there is no schematics for it or anything else. So it's all tracing wires down, checking
Mhm.
voltages, and figuring out what does what with the old school method of seeing where it goes and if that see what controls it. So it takes a considerable but a lot more time to figure out what you're cutting and not cutting.
Yeah, and you took all the roof and everything off so you can trace along, and I haven't done that. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
I
recommend
think at
doing
some
that.
point I'm going to have to.
Well, the only reason I would recommend you taking off the ambulance apart is I found 2 inch by 6 inch on all four corners, big enough for a mice to crawl in, of all these little cubby holes that they didn't do. And I feel like they've taken a lot of shortcuts in this ambulance. And it might be
Oh.
why the business went out of, or the company, I don't know, but it might be why they went out of business because there's a lot of shortcuts done. It's made very well. It is made
Mhm.
well, but I've been finding shortcuts. Or it might just be the shortcuts that they have designed for sponge space. Like, I pulled the floor up the other day, and it's expanded aluminum, which is good. But underneath the floor, they have the sheet metal that's attached to the frame, aluminum. It's all
Okay.
cracked in place, and all the tacks are broke. And they took the tacks or the sheet metal, butted it up to each other, and tacked it there. But all those tacks are broke, so when you walk on it, just the metal, you'll actually push down into the subframe.
Wow.
But most people's not ever going to be in there, and so is probably the original floor with the space on top of it is actually just fine.
Okay.
So
Do you ever
yeah,
feel like you bit off more than you can chew?
for like the last since I bought it, yeah, since I bought it and started tearing into it, I was like, what am I doing? And but the one mantra or thought that keeps going on in my head is it always looks worse before it gets better. It's
That's
always
right.
going to look like horrible build until you start going back together. And I am still in the tear out process of it, and this, and which is fine. And I actually needed to do this because the bounce from my chassis to my cab area need to be replaced. The Ford mounts are actually starting to show where they're fixed, splitting apart, and I had
Mhm.
to take the cab apart from the ambulance box to lift it up. As far as I can tell, I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm gonna do with it.
So, how did you learn how to do all of this stuff, Michelle?
Um, um, well, when I was a kid, I would take everything apart. I could not put it back together, but I'd take it apart and see how it looked. Um, I have schooling. I have because I didn't know what I wanted to do or any of that, so I have the long list of schooling I have. Basic is 2 years of power products at Votech, which is small engine repairs. 2 years of electronics technology, which is a I can't talk. Technical electro. God, I can't talk. I'm sorry. 2 years of electronic tech. Everything about electronics. I'm fascinated with electronics. Actually, to give you an idea, this here
Oh,
is my control panel of my ambulance,
oh, you took it right
and
out.
I've stripped the electrical out of that thing. I mean, this is also part of it. Let's see if I can get the line lined up. This is a power transfer switch. It does 200 amps and it's ground switched. I'm going to reuse it. This, which a lot of this stuff I was planning on breaking down. Well, this is better. There's this. Let's see if I can get it without showing you the rest of the mess that's in here. But I don't know if you'll be able to see that.
What is
But
that?
it's a big silver box. It's a big silver box. It's called Opcon Systems. It's what they used in the ambulance. You ever notice how whenever an ambulance going down the road or emergency vehicle, the light always seems to change for them? You ever notice that when you're sitting at a light and an ambulance go by?
I
Well,
don't
they
know.
actually.
I live in a really small town, so we don't have
Oh,
very
okay.
many lights.
Okay. Well, I've seen it happen, and the lights will change for it, and I thought they have to have a device. Well, they did. It was called an Opcon device, and it's actually very illegal to use on your personal vehicle. Because I wanted to know what everything was, and I was like, okay, now what's the consequences for doing it? And it's, you can get up to what is it, 7 years in jail if you have one on your personal vehicle and using it. So I've removed that system completely
Yeah.
from it. But I like to see how stuff works. So I took it apart, and it's actually will be in a future video along with a few other things. But it's just interesting because it's a little infrared light. You ever see those little brown lights, or it looks like cameras above stoplights that looks like they're pointing at you? That's part of the emergency system that I could tell, and it's part of the communication between the ambulance and the light saying I need to change it. And apparently, after researching it, they have two priority modes. They have a city bus is coming there, hold the light green a little bit longer to save some money, and then they have a emergency mode change now. And fire, police, and ambulance have the emergency mode to change now. It's just one of the more interesting things that it was actually built in it that I was like, that's kind of cool.
See, all of that type of stuff was removed for me.
It has now.
All of it.
Oh, they took it off for you?
Anything. The only thing I still have that's ambulance is the wigwam lights.
So when they sold me mine, they cut a power line. That's all they did. They cut a power line that killed the ambulance systems, but it also killed the heating system and anything in the box that basically killed. So it's like, okay, I got to hook this up because I need to know what does what so I know what to remove. So that's what I did. I went ahead and hooked it up. Oh, I am seeing the buzzy thing. I went ahead and hooked it up and got everything back up in operation to figure out what switch did what so I could figure out what I need and what I don't need. I would have never guessed that the headlights flash they call wigwags, and actually it's over here somewhere. And let me
Did I say wigwag or wigwam when I was talking earlier? It's
your
wigwag.
brain probably said wigwam, but it's called wigwag. Oh, here they are. That's okay. We're in Oklahoma. Not that. This is the power pulse. It is 2 relays, and this is what makes the ambulance do the wigwags. But I made a circuit like this whenever I was in electronics school, and there's a couple of five timers hooked up in parallel to make it flash and flash and flash and flash. I actually knew some people that were storm chasers that made them for the private vehicles, and they could somewhat get away with it. They got pulled over for it, but they was chasing a storm, so they let them off. But it's just interesting, the circuits and the design of how simple it is, what's even more interesting is these things they put this black stuff in there. It's a epoxy. It's basically to keep you to see how they design it, and usually they do that on stuff that's really simple design that you could actually probably make yourself. But company cut it because they don't want to make it themselves. They just want it to work and call someone to have it fixed. Anyhow, my fascination with electronics. I've actually future video that will be coming out. If it works, I am waiting on the circuit board. I learned how to build a circuit board, and I'm going to rehook up this relay box for
Wow.
the ambulance. So I'm going to keep having it. And long term plan is I want to make it remote control from my phone. I am not near the knowledge for that. I'm just now starting the knowledge for it, but this I need a way to remotely control a large current with a small current. So, and I liked how they designed the ambulance circuit board and everything. So yeah. Anyhow, back to the whole education thing. So electronics is my fascination, and as you can tell, I get kind of overboard on it and can make your brain hurt. Maybe I don't know. You guys can tell me, but I also did 2 years of airframe and power plant. That's aviation technology. That's airframe. The only reason I don't do that for a living because it pays good money is I did not get certified. I had some things going on in my life that I missed that opportunity, and now I've waited so long. I would have to go back to school and go through the whole 2 year course before I could reapply for maintenance on aircraft. But it has a lot of broad spectrum information. And anything after that, I've used YouTube, Pinterest, and books. Very big, thick books. I have this wonderful, wherever it is, this wonderful book
Oh my gosh, Michelle. Oh,
as
you have
a
to prop my
reference.
laptop higher. I don't know if I would have the patience to sit and read through it. Although I do use
Um,
a lot of YouTube videos. I'm a visual learner, so I find them very
mhm.
helpful.
I do too. The electronics book is more for reference. I don't want to lose that because whenever I did electronics technology, I was like year 2000, 2001. So that's like 20 years ago. I don't want to lose
Mhm.
that knowledge. So I keep it up, and it's one of my fascinations. I have since added to my books. This is the latest one because I'm building the ambulance very similar to a boat. So I got a boat electrical mechanical thing, and this
Oh,
one's
with all
about.
the 12-volt systems you're using, because boats are great for all that 12-volt stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
Efficient
and
power. But you were talking about on the video that I was watching today that you are going to load up the solar on there more than you have on the bus.
yeah, I'm gonna max out. I did the whole double tilting array. So the solar panels on the bus are they're set at like 2 inches above the ground, but the front two panels tilt up this way, then come down, and then tilt up this way.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's a double tilting, but in all truth, all you need to do is add an extra solar panel or two extra solar panels, and it negates that whole system,
So then you don't have to go through
even
the
in the
work of
wintertime.
constantly changing it a couple times a day.
Yeah, yeah, so you don't need to tilt it. You don't need do any of that. Now, tilting does help in the wintertime, but if you add a couple more solar panels or something like that, it really doesn't matter. The
Mm-hmm.
new rig, I plan on splitting. I wish I had my other hand, but I plan on splitting the panels apart where one folds, kind of folds or slides out of the way over one each side, and I'm trying to figure out a way to create it where it tilts as it folds down. I don't know if you can see. So it tilts kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that. So I will still get a tilting mechanism, but it'll only be half the panel. So it'll only be about 1,000 watts on one
Oh,
side
are you
tilting.
thinking of putting like 2,000 watts up there?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of that.
How many watts are you going to put on the roof?
I figured out I can probably do close to 2,000 watts.
And how much battery
So
storage?
2,000 watts, that's a max. That's with the bed platform extending out, putting above it, and that's as much solar as I could get away with putting on it. And I'm gonna build out everything so I could put it up there, but probably only do 1,000 watts and then add the solar later. It like I said, it depends on the bus selling and a number of other things. But I'm gonna build everything for 2,000 watts and then add it later.
And how
And
much battery storage?
so the original bus had six T105 golf cart batteries in it, and it did great for the basic bus systems like refrigerator, charging a laptop, lights. I had to use LED streaming lights throughout on a little bump out thing, which worked really good. It worked great for that. But whenever I started editing 360 last year, I fried my computer, kind of. I did something to my computer where I could not edit 360. It lasted for a whole whopping 3 months before my computer said, "No, I won't edit 360 videos no more. You can put it in here, but I'm not going to do it anymore. This won't work for you." So I think I fried my graphics card. So I'm running the computer still works, but I was editing 4K 360 videos on a computer that was 6 years old and with proxies and everything else turned on because I use Adobe for editing. It was still a very time consuming process, and most of it was letting the computer do it. Anyhow, so I had to upgrade 4 months later to a desktop that uses 300 watts whenever I'm editing. It basically threw over my battery system in the bus where it could not keep up with it, so I had to run a generator every couple days to bring it topped off. I try not to drain my batteries below 12 volts or 1190, and that's about the lowest I've ever had them. If it dropped below that, I wouldn't use that appliance.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the ambulance battery, I plan on using lithium, mainly the Valence, and I can't remember the actual number, but the Valence batteries, they're well, you can get them on eBay or for about $600 or $300 less than the Battleborns. But the Battleborns are $1,000. Batteries brand new. These are used batteries, the Valence batteries, and they're 138 amp hours each, and they're lithium. They have their own internal charge controller, and you can hook them up in parallel and without the special charging device. But if you hook them up in series, you have to buy a charging device that's almost $500 to monitor the series voltage. So I just plan on having 5 or 6 of them. 3 of them will be what I've been basically using as the lead acid system in the bus was, because lead acid is very complicated math on it, but basically they give you the rated amperage. But if you use the entire rated battery bank, your batteries will only last you a year. If you use 50%, you'll get about 5 years out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get away from the whole lead acid system. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but each one of the
But you'll
Valence
get more
batteries.
bang for your buck with the lithium. Lithium will be
Yeah, and I think if I have a 2,000 watt power system, lithium battery bank, I'm thinking I can get away with induction cooktops and electric heating, which saves me a lot of weight.
Mm.
I don't have to go to which I did good on it. The bus has barbecue style propane tanks underneath it. So anytime you need propane, instead of looking for a propane dealer, you go to any Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, gas station, and then swap out the propane tanks. And I
Mm-hmm.
carried 4 on board, so I only used one lasted me about 2 months before I had to switch it over. And then I had one for the generator and one for the Mr. Heater Buddy model. So
Aaron Jemison says, "Can you come make my solar system for my RV?" Are you going to
um
at all with the ambulance?
huh?
Are you going to use any diesel heating or only
Yeah,
electrical?
I would like to go to a diesel. Basically, I want to get one source, two source. I had so many different sources of heat and power usage in it in the bus. I want to get more to a single source system. And if anything, a diesel heater and a diesel hot water heater, if I can, I'd like to put one of those in there. And I'd like to continue doing the radiant floor heating if I can. The bus, if you didn't know,
Radiant
have an
floor
instant hot
heating?
water
Are you
heater in
kidding me?
it. And
Radiant
yeah,
floor
so
heating?
it was an experiment. It was totally an experiment. So the bus has radiant floor heating in the front half of the bus. I had a really nice floor I built in there, and I ended up having to pull it up because I had a husky that dripped water everywhere, and I didn't have it sealed right. But I pulled it up and was like, okay, well, I got a 74,000 BTU instant hot water heater. It's designed for a house, and I got 100 gallons of water. And basically, it's called an open head system, but I have two valves, a hot and a cold valve going into a solenoid, and it runs PEX line throughout the floor. And I can choose whether I want hot or cold, and it's just hooked up to a switch. I could have it hooked up to a temp thermostat or something like that, but I wasn't quite sure if it'd do it, and I actually just never got back to it. But you turn on the hot, and you flip the switch on, which turns on the relay, allows water to flow through the floor. The instant hot water heater kicks on, runs hot water through the floor, and it returns it and it drops it back in the tank, which is called an open head system. So because your drinking water is used to heat the floor, so you got to be careful about not going over 140 degrees, otherwise you can develop a parasite in your water that you don't want to deal with. But other than that, and whenever it got, I'd watch the temperature gauge on the hot water heater go up because it's circulating its water actually was not efficient enough to pull all the heat out of the water. But between the radiant floor heating in the floor and the hot water going back to the fresh water tanks, it actually warmed up my space from like 50 some odd degrees to like 70 degrees in like 30 minutes. It's almost overkill. But I'd
Wow.
turn it off and just let it soak in there. But the idea was sound. I like this idea, but the problem with it was the instant hot water heater tank was not self-regulating. You set the temperature, and this temperature game was based on the temperature that you put in it. So it actually sit there and recycle and overheat itself until it shut off. So I never hooked it up to a thermistor. But it's really nice if you just want warm floors in the morning when it's cold. I actually use it more than my wood stove once I got it in there. And it works good down to 30 degrees, I want to say. Yeah, 30 degrees, and it'd warm it up maybe 20, 30 degrees in there. I spent my winters, the last 2 winters down in Arizona, and I didn't really use my wood stove that often. I had it on every now and again just because I like the wood stove in the bus, but I probably won't do wood stove again.
Well, you have a little less
But,
room in the ambulance for a wood stove, right?
well, it, I can make room for it if I wanted it. It's like the bathtub. I'll make room for the bathtub. But really, I just don't need multiple fuel sources. So if you have a wood burning stove, you have to have wood to haul around with it. And
True.
most of these national forest lands, they don't like you going out and collecting wood. Or some of these places don't like you doing that. Not to mention you have to process it down, and those cubic mini wood stoves, they're about half the width or a third of the width of a regular log that you buy at the grocery store. So you actually have to process it down. I started going to those press logs. You buy those one-time fire press logs.
Yeah.
And you can actually cut those down with a handsaw and shove them in there, and you get 4 hours out of, like, the regular, 4-hour log, you actually get 8 hours out of it.
Very smart. Very smart.
But it's just one more thing to haul around with you. And there's so many efficient ways to heat your space. It's a luxury item. And really, I would probably lean more towards a Dixon range stove that runs off a diesel. You can see the fire in there, and you get to have it, but you have a single heat source or a single fuel source, and it just cuts down the amount of stuff you have to haul around. And really, the ambulance will be more mobile. I mean, whenever I picked it up, I got it at Logan, Utah, at an auction site there, and it's like, all right, we're gonna go fly there, pick it up, and bring it back, and I'll buy the tools there to do it. And then the guy's like, well, it has a rear back brake cylinders. I have a buddy over here. If you want, I'll have him fix it for you, and you can just pay him. It's like, okay, how much is it gonna be? And they're like, oh, $500-$600. Like, okay, we'll do that. And then I'll have to do the work and everything else. It was closer to $900, but yeah.
Take care. I will talk to you again shortly. Okay, Michelle?
All right, cool. Maybe we do another one.
Okay.